According to a study from the National Health Survey on Disability, an estimated 1.6 million Americans residing outside of institutions use wheelchairs. Wheelchair users are often among the most visible members of the disability community, experiencing the highest levels of activity limitation and among the lowest levels of employment. A recent event at Southfield's Beechwoods Recreation Center sought to promote awareness of the needs of wheelchair users. It was a day of informational awareness as the nonprofit organization Think Beyond the Chair presented its third annual party at the park. The event intended to provide support and advocacy for people with disabilities.
Today is one of our social integration events. So we just want people to get out, be socially involved. That has a lot of important meaning, which means, it helps with depression. So, getting people out and about, meeting other people, that might have similar disabilities.
A major focus of Think Beyond the Chair is to build confidence and independence and provide role models for the wheelchair disabled. Organization President Sharina Jones exemplifies those objectives based on her own life's journey. Jones was a victim of a bullet wound that paralyzed her from the age of 5. She found support through family and peer mentors that enabled her to thrive despite her situation.
Well, I was 5 years old, and when I talk to people in our organization, because I'm also a peer mentor, I talk about how being a child and getting shot and becoming disabled, it was actually a lot easier than a lot of people who are older who become disabled because, they're already set in their ways. Where I was a child, and for me it was kind of like, okay, now I have a wheelchair, now this is different, but I can keep going. So a lot of that was the support of my family. I have an amazing family. And, when I got shot, my dad was like, what are you concerned about? My parents like, what do you still want to do? I want to swim, I want to play basketball, I just, want to do things like that. My mom and dad, took me right back out on the boat, swimming, no time. My dad got wheelchairs so the neighborhood kids could play basketball. I mean, yeah, I have an amazing support system. I've always had that. And I think that's kind of where our peer mentoring, why that's so important, because a lot of people don't have that, and we want them to know that they have a group of people they can go to. So Think Beyond a Chair, we're a group and it's just like family.
Jones chronicled her struggles and her triumphs in a recently released book, Life of a Push Goddess.
I wrote a book called Life of a Push Goddess. It took me about 6 years to write, and I just talk about, overcoming obstacles and struggles, and how actually being in a chair wasn't actually my hardest struggle in life. So, I talk about just growing pains and just getting over things, going to school, getting my degrees, starting my own company, getting married. I mean, there's a lot of happy things in there.
Party in the Park's success has been due in large part to partnerships with various businesses and corporations who helped to sponsor this year's event.
A few years ago, I went to Michigan State Law School, and my wife's from Kalamazoo, so I had some roots in Michigan. And a friend had told one of the members here about me, and she called me regarding an accessibility issue. She could not get into a property, get through the bathroom door, and she called and asked if I could help her and I could do anything about that. And I said I was glad to. Okay, I'm glad to help anybody out I can. And there's no charge to them, of course. So then she spoke to other people, and other people were calling me, asked me questions, and I got involved in the organization. And I've been to Miss Wheelchair Michigan, and I've been to these functions, and I just help out wherever I can. I just think it's such a great event. It gets the word out to the community, and everybody here is just always so positive, and it's such a great feeling to be around them. And I just love coming up here, and this year I also brought my children up here so they could participate as well.
Today's event is in part because of our platinum sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have events like this that are free for the community. And our platinum sponsors this year are law offices of Pete Montesmith, Coloplast, Spina Bifida Association of Michigan, Advisa Care, Push Goddess, and Southfield Parks and Rec.
To learn more about Think Beyond the Chair, visit thinkbeyondthechair.org.